Hello, today I'm doing a video about a problem that might look simple, but it is not so simple, and I did not found hardly any videos about this issue. Maybe I did not look good enough, but I did not find. Well, the problem is the following. We have React single page application on one side, and we have Express on the other side, and we want to load images or files from React to Express, and we want Express to store it, and then we want to retrieve the images or the files. And in the case of images, we want to show the images. So this React Express using REST API video I did not found, so I decided to do it myself. And when do you need this? So here you have Amazon, and Amazon, you have here a lot of images. So how do you upload these images to the server? And then how do you view them on the client? So this is the subject of these videos. I have few videos. So this is a production sample, but to show you how it's done, I always like to do a small application to isolate what I need to do. So I will start with what I did. It is really not targeting to look very nicely, because I don't think that what is important here is the CSS and the styling. So my styling is hardly implemented, but this is not the important issue. The important issue is to show you how you can upload files or images from the client, from React client, how to store it on the server, and how to retrieve it. So what I did here, I have here the React side, and this is my server. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, so this is my server, and I have here inside the server I have this directory. Currently it is empty, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the following. This is an input text, and I can enter here some text like the name of the picture 1, and then I can choose a file. I can choose this image file, and this is the image file, and I want to load it. When I click load, you see that I have here a new file, and you see that I have, this was the original file, but I got another file name. This is the file name, and this is on the server. And now I want to go from the client to the server, fetch this image and show it on the client. So what I need to do is I need to put this here, and the client will make a request to the server, fetch the image and show it. And this is what it is showing. And I can show you that I can do it also with another image. Okay, I need to load it. Okay, so you see that the name was changed. This name 421, you can see it here, 421. It was loaded to the server, and I can go here and show it. Okay, so this is the first step, and this is the second step. Here I'm using images, but I can load any file to the server. Okay, so this is the small application the small proof of concept that I will do. And I want to show you the schema of the application, the small application that I did. Okay, so I've used draw.io for the schema. Okay. And this is the schema. It is inside the GitHub. Okay, this is the GitHub. This is the name of the repository, React Express load image, and this is a sequence diagram that I've prepared. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have here the client, and we have here the server. And in this application, they are both talking to each other using REST API over HTTP. The client is React single page application, and the server is Express. And here I am showing you, this is a sequence diagram. Sequence diagram is a known diagram in programming, and it is very good for designing and explaining your solution. So this is why I'm using it. So on the client side, I have React single page application, and React single page application uses Axios. And on the server side, we have Express, and we have a third-party package called Molter, and of course, Express has disk. And here I'm showing you two operations: loading information from the client to the server, load to server, and after I've loaded it, I'm getting only the image from the server. Okay, so let's see what we have. So the React single page application has a function called load to server, and if we want, in a single page application, we want information from the server, or we want to put information on the server, we need to talk to him with Ajax, and one of the ways using Axios. So what we are going to do is we're going to use the HTTP method called post. We are going to use here a URL route which is /API. In your application, you can do it. You can put here anything you like. If you want to load to the server product with product name and price and image, then you should put here /products. Here, I've called it simply /API. And now it is important because the information that you need to send, if you have a file, the only way that you can open this file is by using an input with type of file. Okay, so what I mean is following: HTML input type. Okay, so you're familiar with all these type probably, button, checkbox, but what we are going to do, and text, what we are going to do is use this. The only way that I am aware of opening a file on the browser is using this input type file. So this is what I will use. And the only way to pass this information to the server, as far as I know, is using something that is called form data. You can use element form, but I'm not using here element form. I'm using here two input and a button. One input will be used to input file, and the other input any text. If you want to send a file to the server, you must use form data or form element. And this is not everything. You need to use content type of multipart / form data. This is the way to send a file and more input, but particularly file to the server. So this is what I'm using here. And Express will receive this information, and to parse the information, you cannot use you cannot use what you might be used to when you are sending maybe JSON to the server. You need to use third party like Malter, because Malter knows to handle this content type. And when Express receives this information, he will use this method, and this key here, this string here, will be the same as the one that we have here in the form data, and then it will be saved on the disk. It will be saved on the disk on a directory /upload with the new file name, because Malter will create a new file name for the file that we have, and this is the new file name. And then we will send back the body and the file and 201 in case this is a success. Okay, so this is how we are going to load information to the server, and then we can get the image from the server. We will use again Axios get /images, and we will use here we will provide the file name, the new file name. Then Express will use send file with this file name. It will access the disk because we are storing the information on the disk, and then if it is success, we will send the file and 200. And it is not over. Once we get this file back to the client, we will need to use file reader on the file that we got, and we will need to create an image URL from this file and use this image URL inside our browser. So this might look complicated, and maybe it is complicated at first glance, but we will do it step by step, and this is the whole picture. This is the whole schema. First, what I want to do is I want to create a starting project that we will have React client talking to Express server. So I have this, and we will start with this. Okay, so let's create here folder. Let's call it React Express load image. And now I want to use a project that I'm using every time I have React on one side and Express on the other side. I do not need to create it from scratch because I already have it. It's like a skeleton, if you like. Okay, this is the skeleton, and I will download it, extract, and I will extract it to here. Okay, and let's simply get all this stuff here and remove this. Okay, so this is the project, and let's open it with VS Code. let's step inside the server. And open a terminal. Okay, so you see that I have here a server and I have here a client. In the server I have, okay, now let's install on the server. This is the Express and concurrently will be installed only for development, not for production. Okay, and now let's, if you are looking here, you see that inside the server we have the client, and the client is React application. Okay, so cd client. Inside the client we have package JSON, and we have here Axios, React, React DOM, React Script. Okay, so let's install them. npm I. Okay, we get back to the server because here we're starting our React and server. Okay, so I'm doing npm run dev, and then this will invoke the Express side. Okay, you see here app is listening on port 5000, and it will also invoke the React development server, which is listening on port 3000. Okay, so both are running in parallel using the package concurrently that we saw before. Okay, so what we have here, the server is here, index.js, and it is waiting for get request on /API, and it return result from server, and the client make an Axios request using /API, and this is shown, the data is shown here. I don't need this. Is shown here. Okay, so if I click on the button, I should get, not here, I should get a result from server. Okay, let's see. Okay, result from server, and if I add here this, you see that it is updating and reloading. So again, result from server, and if I want to change the client, see that I'm changing it 1 to 3. Okay, you see it's starting again, and 1 to 3. Okay, so this is the setup that I'm going to use for my loading image from React to Express, and I will load images in the next video. Thank you.